Warning, censorship. Warning, censorship.
Mike has cancer, and he had a treatment appointment with his doctor, but because they didn't accept his negative test that he got for COVID in California, they put him in that ratty Radisson hotel with its stitched up sheets and black mold in the shower, and they gave him crap food to eat in portions that would make a budgie starve. And when he left after 2 nights of that misery, and by the way, yeah, he didn't get permission to go to the doctor's appointment. He missed it. When he got back to Sudbury, 2 constables come to his house and give him a fine for almost $4,000.
There have been 2 separate alleged reports of sexual misconduct coming from the COVID quarantine system. So one happened in a hotel, a jail, a COVID jail, and one happened at a woman's house, and it was a mandatory quarantine check. And again, this is all alleged. It hasn't gone to court. But when you are taking people and you're not telling them where you're taking them and you're not allowing them to tell their family where they're going, it opens up, it makes people vulnerable to these sorts of things. And let me tell you, there should be hell to pay and heads rolling if these things are proven to be true.
And Sheila, not only not telling them, but lying. Yeah, I said it, folks, lying, like Jamie at the Radisson at 640 Dixon Road, who said the hotel's under construction. That's why it's closed to the public. And you see all these little faces pressed up against the glass. But so much for the credibility on that file. So yeah, let's run a little of Kean's report right now.
Justin Trudeau is about to face a scandal of epic proportions. Think SNC Lavalin, think We Scam, but perhaps even worse, because it turns out Justin Trudeau is using your tax dollars in a way that is allowing Canadians to be sexually assaulted by the security contractors that he's hiring to go door to door to check on at-home quarantiners. And it's not just that. People who are staying in COVID hotels, not unlike the one that is behind me right here in Calgary. In this case, it was actually in one near Montreal. People are getting sexually assaulted in those rooms as well. It's horrific what is going on, and reports coming from La Presse show that the government has had the locks on all of the individual doors removed, allowing anyone to get in and out. They say that it's for cases of emergency. What it's allowing is for people inside of those hotels to sexually assault and maybe even rape people who are in those doors. We don't know the magnitude of this situation going on right now, but currently we have reports of 2 women. One who was quarantining at home was allegedly sexually assaulted by a security contractor in the Halton region. The regional police said it will not identify the name of the security company where the man was an employee, but they say that he's been suspended. Justin Trudeau doesn't want the names of these security contractors being put out to light because it might turn out that this is more widespread than has been reported in just the day that it's broken so far. This might escalate. Rent-A-Cop quarantine enforcement checker was, quote, charged after allegedly demanding a cash fine from an Ontario resident and then sexually assaulted her when she refused to pay. Justin Trudeau has to answer for this, even though he probably won't. Justin Trudeau liked sexually assaulting people, just like he did with Rose Knight when he was groping her, a reporter, back in his young days. People have forgiven him for that, but it turns out when he's Prime Minister, the exact same thing is happening under his watch, because he called for this. Althea Raj, in a tweet that she's probably going to delete because she carries water for this government, she says, Trudeau says, government-hired private security firms are going to beef up checks on people quarantining at home. Well, what do you know? Just a month after that tweet came out, one of those very guards that Justin Trudeau hired allegedly went to someone's door, extorted them for a cash fine, and when the woman didn't comply, he sexually assaulted her. And now...
Wow, these are unbelievable allegations. I mean, Sheila, we're going from the quarantine hotel to the no-tell motel. And but I guess to use a Justin Trudeauism, maybe she experienced it differently, the extortion and the molesting. Unbelievable.
If Justin Trudeau would not lock his mother and his wife in one of these COVID hotels, then why is he locking up yours?
Yep.
That's the true test here. If any of these Liberal MPs who think that this quarantine jail system is a good idea, if they wouldn't stuff their helpless wives, daughters, mothers into these things, why is it good enough for the rest of us? I mean, what did they think was going to happen when they were basically abducting Canadian citizens from the airport, taking them to hotels to deal with a quarantine that really isn't necessary if you're going to quarantine at home, but that, as we just found out, that has its own host of issues. But then we also have the idea that these are private contractors trained super rapidly by the Public Health Agency of Canada to do these security checks on people in their home. What's the screening process for these people?
Exactly.
Do we know?
You know, Sheila, we know if you were to be a hockey coach in minor hockey, you go through a police screening, and well, you should. You know, you don't want to give, a would-be pedophile access to the, to victims. But again, this is the problem, isn't it, Sheila, when you rush things through? And you're right. I don't understand the need for these hotels for law-abiding, tax-paying Canadian citizens, why they can't quarantine at home. You know, I've got a story coming up. The reason I was in Sudbury, this was a lineman, Sheila, coming back to Canada from California where he's doing line work. And the reason why he came back to Ontario is Mike has cancer. And he had a treatment appointment with his doctor, but because they didn't accept his negative test that he got for COVID in California, they put him in that ratty Radisson hotel with its stitched up sheets and black mold in the shower, and they gave him crap food to eat in portions that would make a budgie starve. And when he left after 2 nights of that misery, and by the way, he didn't get permission to go to the doctor's appointment. He missed it. When he got back to Sudbury, 2 constables come to his house and give him a fine for almost $4,000. And I said to Mike, you know what? You were a fool, my friend. You shouldn't have gone by the rules and been honest. You should have just flown into New York State, walk over to Quebec at Roxham Road, and then the police aren't giving you a fine. They're turning into bellhops and carrying your luggage.
Oh, hi friends. What you just saw there is a clip from our Rebel News daily live stream show. It's fun, it's fast, and it's completely unscripted, so you never really know what you're going to get. Just go to rebelnews.com/livestream to sign up for special alerts.